People are very different from machines. Yet there's one thing they both need. This program says checkups help keep their systems on the go.
The following is from NIT, National Instructional Television. Ripples.
Look at Jeffrey go. Arms, legs, every part of him working together, working smoothly. A system to keep him on the run. Strong muscles help him stretch and jump and run. Muscles working together with the rest of him. His eyes, ears, nose sending him messages. Every part of him working to tell him what is safe and what is dangerous. His heart pumps blood round and round his whole body. And in his head, the most amazing part of all, his brain taking in messages from the world and sending out orders a mile a minute. Everything working together. A system to keep him going. Everything working together, a system to keep him going and going and going. Doesn't Jeffrey ever get tired? What keeps him on the go? He needs fuel to feed his system. Like a car needs gas and oil to keep its system on the go. To keep your body, or your car, any system working at its best, it needs a checkup from time to time.
Will I get a shot?
Maybe a booster.
Will you stay with me?
Oh, sure. It's just going to take a little while. Doctor wants to see how strong you are, how much you've grown since you were here last.
Will you check inside me?
Oh, he's going to check you inside and out, all over.
Like the car got checked yesterday?
Well, you're a little more complicated than the car. The car has systems, and you have systems, but they all have to work together.
Houston? Jeffrey Houston? The doctor can see you now.
Hello, Mrs. Houston. How are you?
Fine, thank
And how's Jeffrey?
Fine,
How's he been since the last time we saw him?
just fine.
So this is just the checkup.
My car had a checkup yesterday.
It did?
Yep.
Could you tell me about that while we're getting you on the examination table? Okay, Jeffrey. Could you tell me about what you saw yesterday when your car was being examined?
I saw a green thing go bouncing around. They picked up the car and they looked under it with flashlights.
That's very good, because we're going to do some of those things to you. And you know, you're a little bit more interesting than a car. You could hear, and you could see, you could talk, you could love, and you can get angry. But a car can't do that. Someone has to do it for a car. So you see, you're a little bit more interesting and a little bit more complicated. Jeffrey, did they look under the hood of your car yesterday?
Yes?
They did, but we're going to do something similar to that. We're going to look right in your mouth with a light. Now open your mouth real wide and say, ah.
Ah.
Atta boy. Well, his tonsils are a little enlarged, Mrs. Houston. Nothing to worry about, but we ought to check him in about 2 months.
Well, Mrs. Houston, you're going to need 4 new tires in a couple of months. Yep.
Are my tonsils part of my system?
They sure are, Jeffrey. They guard your lungs against all the bacteria that are normally in your mouth, and they protect you from infection. Now we're going to measure your blood pressure.
What's that?
Well, your blood pressure measures the flow of blood from your heart through all the blood vessels in your body. And we do it by means of a gauge.
What's a gauge?
A gauge is something that measures something, like a speedometer measuring speed and a clock measuring time. And I bet they used a lot of gauges when they examined your car yesterday. Very good.
That felt funny.
It did. Well, it's supposed to. Jeffrey, now we're going to look at your eyes.
Mine are round.
Yeah, and pretty good looking, too. But I'm going to look inside your eyes.
How are you going to do that?
With this.
That just looks like a old flashlight.
That's right, but it's a little bit more complicated. Could you look right out there? Atta boy, and open up real wide. Very good.
What did you see?
I saw your arteries and your veins. And that's the only place in your body that you can see that. And they're normal, too. And Jeffrey, now I'm going to look in your ears with this light.
My car got its lights checked up yesterday.
Well, we can compare your eyes to your car's lights. All a car's lights do is throw light in front of the car so a driver can see where he's going. But your eyes are needed to see. Okay, Jeffrey, now we're going to listen to your chest. So could you take your shirt off for me? Atta boy. You want some help there? Okay, how about if we do it this way? Okay, let's pull this off like that. Atta boy. Wow. We're caught. Here we are. Very good. Let's slip this over your head. Atta boy. And once more, we gotta take this one off. Well, we can leave that just like that, okay? Alrighty. Now, you know, your lungs and your heart are part of your system. And your lungs really take in the air that we breathe, and they put oxygen into the blood, and then the heart pumps that oxygenated blood around, okay? Now, you know, cars also have, or use air, for their system. Very good. Now, just let me take a listen, okay? And with Listen in front. You have a pretty good set of lungs there. And you know, they'll stay that way for a long time if you don't put things into them like smoke.
Cigarettes.
Right. Okay, Jeffrey, let's put your shirt back on, and then we're going to take a look at your shoes to see how they're wearing.
What do you do that for?
Well, sometimes, if your shoes aren't wearing right, then it means that your feet are somehow abnormal. And that could make your feet tired and your whole body hurt. But you see, your shoes are wearing pretty good.
How can you tell if my feet are from my shoes?
Well, you see how they wear. If they're wearing on one side rather than the other, or wearing specifically like in the front, we know that something's wrong. But your shoes are wearing pretty evenly. And I think they're normal. Okay?
Okay.
You know, Jeffrey, on a car, we can check their system by looking at the tires. And if the tires are worn the wrong way, we know that something's wrong. Mrs. Houston, everything looks pretty good, but I think I'd like to have a urinalysis.
What's the urinalysis?
A urinalysis is just a test of your urine for things like infection or for sugar in your urine. And what I'd like to have you do is to urinate in that cup for me.
What should I do with this cup, Mommy?
You go make pee-pees, Jeffrey.
Let me help you down. Attaboy. Oh, very good.
You're 3 now.
Very good. Okay, Jeffrey. Mrs. Houston, his shots seem to be up to date, and I don't think we'll do that this time. But I think I would like to get a sample of his blood. Okay, Jeffrey. I'm just going to stick this in right here. Ready?
Yeah. Ouch, cars don't have blood.
Cars don't say ouch either.
Are you through now?
Yes, we are, but if we're your mother, I'd ask her to exercise in place for me by jogging.
I can jog, want to see?
Yeah. Now we can look at your heart again and see if your motor's running good, just like the motor of a car. Mrs. Houston, Jeffrey's in real fine shape, and we'll have the results of the urinalysis and the blood test for you in a couple of days. By the way, when did you have your last physical?
Well, actually, it's been a while. I work, you know, it's sort of hard. But I'm going to do it soon.
Mom, you ought to have one too. It didn't hurt. Everybody should have a checkup sometime.
Produced by the Northern Virginia Educational Television Association. Ripples was created by a consortium of 12 educational agencies in association with NIT, National Instructional Television.